kids. It's beer time. And I am celebrating my first day cold medicine free. Am I over the cold? No. But I've no longer dulled all of my senses with horrendous meds to keep me open and awake. So I'm tasting things again. I'm smelling things again. Not all of them pleasant. So I thought I would come on here and review one of my Christmas presents. And this one is from my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, Lynn and Jeff. Jeff is the man responsible for the Czechoslovakian pint glass, which I treasure daily. Well, maybe not daily, but every time I see it, I'm like, isn't that nice? This is a Schlafly or Schlafly Christmas Ale, described as ale with spices. And it's 8% alcohol by volume. Wow, So there are lots of tiny little words on here, so I thought I would go about reading them. Can't see you. Now I can see it. A warming winter ale that blends spices of the season. 8% alcohol by volume, 12 fluid ounces. Government warning, don't try to trim a tree with burning candles if you're drunk and pregnant. The St. Louis Brewery, St. Louis, Missouri. For best flavor, keep refrigerated. And then, up on the top, there seems to be a couple of legends. Schlafly Christmas Ale is a warming winter ale that blends the spices of the season with sweet caramel malt. Or, if you will, caramel or caramel. But I'm from the Midwest, we say caramel. A special release Christmas ale is available for a limited time with a new style every few months. And then it's got all of the states that this bottle can be turned in for deposit. But now I'm going to give you guys a view of the bottle, since it is decorated in a beautiful Christmas tree. Trying to keep the glare down off of my camera light. So, very nice. Very nice. And I did sample one of these, but it was with a lot of different snack foods and other things, and I didn't really get to give it a solid review, a solid shake in my head. I am going to be drinking this fabulous beer out of the Fez Meets Beer mug. Ooh, Fez Meets Beer. And we will give this a pour. All right. It seems to be a dark amber, almost a brown ale. I didn't go for a foamy beer. It is rather effervescent. It is clear, maybe slightly ever so cloudy, but it is a dark beer. I know you guys can't see it from that angle. Let me use the flashlight to show you. See? It is a dark amber beer, and I've got a fondness for dark amber beers, so why not, huh? So let's give this thing a sniff in mug. Mostly I am smelling the roast of the grains. But believe it or not, there's a tiny little bit of solid floating on the top. It might have just been a trick of the foam. But I don't see anything settling on the bottom of the mug. So maybe it's just dirty glass. Although this glass looked really, really clean. So I'm thinking it's just an effect of the foam. So I'm smelling mostly the roast of the grain, but I was getting a little bit of spice in there as well. Yeah, just a hint. Maybe a little bit of nutmeg. So, let's duck into it and see what we like. Ooh. It has an overall bitter profile, but it's not too bitter, and the spice rides in at the end of the swallow. It wasn't particularly effervescent in my mouth, but that just could have been because of the volume of beer I put in there just now, which was way too big of a swallow. Yeah, the spice, I believe, they intended it to basically pair with the bitterness. Because they do arrive in a little avalanche at the end. This is a beer flavored beer, but it's not like a strictly traditional beer flavored beer. This has a lot of the same elements as a nut brown ale, but it's not as mild, and it actually has a little bit more of a bitter end to it than like a nut brown ale would. And I said it wasn't effervescent, but pardon me. 8% alcohol by volume. I could be getting just a little bit of the alcohol in that flavor too. No, it's too blended. Too blended to be the alcohol. That is definitely the spice coming in to ride on the end of the bitter. It's tasty. Is it my favorite? That's asking me an awful lot to narrow down a favorite out of beers, but I'm liking it. If I saw it in a store, would I pick it up? I'm not sure. Probably, especially if it was right before the holidays and I was going to someone's house and we were going to share beers. I would share this beer with people. Definitely. If someone handed this to me at a party, would I be happy about it? Yeah, but I would also be very cautious because at 8% alcohol by volume, you can't get too many of these in you before you get all Schlafly, if you know what I mean. So, yes, a tasty beer. It has a little bit of oddity going on the cap because inside there's like a little pillowing. And sometimes people associate that pillowing with the beer being in the bottle for too long. I don't know if this has got an age on it anywhere, but I did not see any kind of dates printed into the glass. It's very interesting. It makes me want to keep sipping at it and trying to actively take apart the flavor, which is difficult because the flavor is super blended. I did say it was just a little bit cloudy, and I think that might be from some residual yeast that might have been left in the batch. Like maybe they didn't filter it through too fine of a filter. So, and of course, once again, I'm basically going through this entire beer for this video. So, so I'm slugging down 8% alcohol by volume. Then I'm going to go take some cold meds and go to bed. Whee! It's good. It's good. Is it the best I've ever had? No, it's not the best I've ever had. But that is covering a lot of beers, if you know what I mean. So, is it the worst I've ever had? Not by far. Not by far. I mean, this is no Bud Light Lime. Even though I gave some praise to that yesterday. And yes, I do buy those, and I do drink them during the summer. But only because you can't just keep drinking Kool-Aid, kids. You can't. So, I am going to probably finish this beer and turn off the lights down here and then head upstairs so that I can pull my loaf of monkey bread out of the oven for my family party tomorrow. The delayed Christmas. When you're Irish, you got a lot of relatives, a lot of kids, and a lot of grandkids, and a lot of great grandkids, and you can't always get together for the holidays. So sometimes we do holidays after the holidays. And that's where I'll be tomorrow, hanging out with my sister, with her and her kids, and her kids' kids, and her kids' kids' kids. Kids, 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 kids. If you liked what I did here today, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And if you have a friend who likes beer on the same level that I do, share it with them. If you want to talk to me about a beer, hey, talk about it right down below. And I will see you guys next time I've got an awesome beer to share. Thanks.